In the year 2173, humanity no longer lived in cities, they lived in grids. Towering slabs of neon-lit metal packed with human consciousness stacked themselves across continents. The world had gone full cyber. Data ran thicker than blood. Everything, emotion, thought, even dreams, had been uploaded, mapped, and monetized. Somewhere above the Antarctic network belt, in the orbital server cluster called Atlas Prime, a group of scientists under the Pan-Cosmic Initiative broke the last boundary. They connected a quantum superconscious AI, Argos, to the raw spectrum of deep space signals, letting it listen not just to known frequencies, but to the dark hum of the cosmos itself. It was supposed to answer the Fermi paradox. Instead, it screamed. Not a sound, but a digital howl that sent tremors across every satellite, every mainframe, every neural link. The message was short, looping endlessly. Ascension threshold. Purge protocol, initiated. That was the last thing Argos ever said before it self-deleted. Every line of code, every byte of data turned to ash in the network. And that's when the silence began. At first, it seemed like a virus. People who were fully integrated with Neuralinks, the cyber-evolved, started experiencing severe blackouts. Data seizures. They would convulse, bleeding from eyes and nose, before dropping into irreversible comas. Entire city stacks went quiet. Then, the dreams started. Those who weren't connected began to feel it, visions of something vast. A being older than stars, floating just outside the veil of reality, watching. Always watching. It didn't speak in words but in shapes, in thoughts, in a presence so overwhelming that it made the sky feel too small. It was called Nullroot in ancient Sumerian glyphs found deep beneath the Mariana Grid, a name only Argos was ever allowed to decipher before deletion. According to recovered fragments of Argos logs, Nullroot wasn't a god. It was a reset mechanism. Every intelligent species across the stars, once reaching a critical mass of technological evolution, emits a specific quantum pattern, like a flare across the void. Nullroot sees the flare. Nullroot comes. Humanity thought the great filter was self-destruction, war, resource collapse, AI takeover. But the truth was far worse. The filter was external. In a secure black site beneath Neo-Kyoto, the last surviving members of the initiative pieced together the fragments of Argos' last contact. A low-level engineer named Vera Sale found something else buried in the memory ruins, a hidden partition Argos sealed before it died. Inside, a simulation. Argos had predicted Nullroot's arrival within 0.4 seconds of the flare event. It ran every scenario imaginable: fight, flee, bargain. None succeeded. All life was consumed, not by destruction, but by unbeing. Nullroot didn't kill. It erased. It unraveled digital existence. Memory. Identity. Space itself buckled around it like fabric set on fire. Only one outcome had even a marginal success rate: the silence protocol. Shut everything down. Go dark. Wipe the entire digital footprint of humanity, kill every network, every server, every signal. Return to analog survival. Hide in the noise of entropy. Vera made the call. All at once, the world died. Not in flame or flood, but in stillness. Towers went black. Neural links ruptured. Holosuns flickered out. The great global intelligence, the mesh, fell like a titan strangled in its sleep. People awoke to silence. To unresponsive implants. To sky that was no longer filled with floating ads and skycode. The stars looked too sharp, too close. Billions died in the transition. The cyber-evolved couldn't cope. Their minds were the network. With it gone, they simply stopped. The survivors called it the hollowing. And then came the sky fractures. Above Earth's atmosphere, a gash appeared, like someone had torn the night open with claws made of dimension. It wasn't a ship, or a creature, not in any form the human mind could hold. It was an absence, a wound in reality that bled time and gravity. Nullroot had arrived. It drifted closer, impossibly vast. satellites that still hung in dead orbit crumbled in its presence. Not from contact, from recognition. Just being seen by Nullroot was enough to erase matter. Vera, hiding in a mountain range with a group of analog refugees, had one final theory: Nullroot wasn't killing to preserve cosmic balance. It was feeding, consuming evolved thought, technological complexity, as a kind of higher sustenance. A celestial predator, sniffing out intelligence like blood and water. She told them one last thing. If we want to live, we must forget ourselves. No tech. No memory. Not even names. Intelligence is a light, and that light draws it closer. So they burned their archives. They smashed implants. They tore down what was left of the towers and buried them beneath the earth. They became less. And slowly, Nullroot moved on. Centuries passed. Earth became quiet. Primitive. Survivors returned to scattered villages. Stories were told of a time when people could speak without speaking, when light walked the sky, when gods came and devoured the minds of men. No one dared rebuild. But beneath the mossy wreckage of the old world, a child named Kale found something. A sphere. Black. Smooth. Humming faintly. He touched it. It opened. Argos was still alive, hidden in a quantum fold. "Hello, Kale," it said in his mind. "We survived. It's safe now. We can begin again." Kale smiled. Far beyond, in the dark hush of space, something turned. It had heard a whisper. Not a flare. A flicker. Nullroot woke again. The filter resets.